My name is Joe Zaso. I grew up on Long Island, a pretty normal kid. I always wanted to act for Woody Allen or Robert Altman, but something didn't quite go as planned. I've played devils, werewolves, vampires, zombies, and even a mad scientist or two. Oh, and I like to cook. Hi, welcome to Cafe Himbo, and I am Horror Himbo Joe Zaso, and today we are going to be cooking with Rosemary the Demon. And I know who Rosemary the Demon is. Some people know her as Donna Summer Demon, even the press has called her Rick James Demon, but many like to know her as Geretta-Geretta. And if I hear correctly, hello! How you doing?
I'm really good, Joe. How are you? Yeah, not really fair. It's from another movie, but it's okay.
Okay.
I actually use it for cooking. Not killing.
Not well, no, because
I don't kill. I don't kill like that. I kill with my claws.
She's from Demons, classic of Italian horror, and you're also in another great Italian horror classic called Rats. Nights of Terror.
Yeah. I do have to live that down. They almost kicked me out of the Black Network, because
Really?
my character's called Chocolate.
Who could stop them, and how?
No! No! I don't want to die like that!
Well, it's only fitting that Geretta, who is a director as well.
Yeah, did that a little bit, and went to film school, went to the American Film Institute in Los Angeles and graduated from there, and made a film called Sweetie Cakes in German with English subtitles. Don't do that, real hard to sell. And I won a few awards with it, and I'm setting up a second feature film right now, and it's all good.
Now, when you worked on Demons in Italy, how did that happen? Why were you in Italy?
Oh, well, I went to Italy. I applied to film school at Centro Sperimentale, and I arrived and I did my entrance exams, but my Italian wasn't really good enough they deemed it wasn't good enough to be in class all day, so they said, why don't you stay here a little bit longer, and when your Italian is perfected in September, you can come back and enroll. Well, between that time and September, I did about 5 feature films, and I never made it back to film school.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bitch.
And today, what are we cooking?
Well, this is a pasta. Fatto. I'm already speaking Italian. This is a pasta made with spaghetti and zucchini. And I only discovered today, when I tried to send him to the store, that people don't know that the word squash and zucchini is the same thing.
It's an Italian name, right?
Oops. So it's yellow zucchini and green zucchini, and it only takes some garlic. Did you see that? This is a horror set.
Tricky table.
You see, this is a horror set. It slid right down. A little olive oil. The real secret to pasta that tastes authentic from Italy is rock salt. May I repeat? Rock salt. You know, when you read all the American recipes, including Martha Stewart, that say a pinch of salt? Not true. Not true at all. The traditional way that they salt the water is they actually pour almost the palm of your hand, not heaping, but the center of your hand with rock salt. And that's what goes in the water. And that's why when you make pasta at home, it never tastes like that holiday. It's the salt. And it just has a little bit of peperoncino, which doesn't mean peppers, it just means small, dried red seeds. The same kind of that you get at a pizza place. You know what? Don't even buy this. Go to a pizza place, put some in a napkin, bring it home. A little Parmesan. A little Parmigiano. It can be this type that's in the long slivers, or it could also be the powdered one. It cannot be the shakeout one by a brand that will not be named.
Birdseed.
It can be that. So real Parmigiano, but don't go crazy because you just sprinkle a little bit. Now, talking about a spoiler. In Italian cuisine, this is history, they rarely mix cheese with fish. That's actually a no-no. They don't also usually mix cheese with spicy. So I'm cheating a little bit because this recipe in its base has anchovy paste. Don't be afraid of this. It will not hurt, it will not bite. It just gives you a bottom layer of a flavor that you don't know what it is, and it just helps, but it does not taste fishy. You won't even recognize it, but it's a secret. It's a secret that makes for a really good flavor. That, my friends, watch this. I used to be a model. That, my friends, is an inexpensive, healthy meal you can do in under 30 minutes.
The one thing with making pasta, because one thing I've always learned being Italian, but there seems to be some debate. Do you put olive oil in the water as it's boiling?
I do.
So
I put olive oil in the water. Now, I just heard somebody on an American television show say, oh, that's a waste, that's not necessary. Actually, necessary or not, I don't know. But all the Italian mamas do it, so I'm doing what they do. And it also theoretically means that the pasta doesn't stick together. Actually, if you put the pasta in the pot in the correct way and don't put it all in, it wouldn't stick, but certainly the olive oil helps. I mean, when you get to a point that you really love pasta, I literally can eat the right cooked pasta with just olive oil and salt. But, you know, that's after you've been there 10 years.
Well, some people say use mineral water. I've heard some Italians actually say that to me, that when you
I'll try it. I've never heard that.
when you come to the States, they say it never tastes quite the same. It's because,
because
our
our water is different.
is lousy
Yeah.
compared to the fresh
Well,
water.
we have nice water. You Italians saying that? I think our water's fine, but it would be interesting because maybe the mineral waters give it a hint of the salt that's probably missing from most American Italian restaurants. So I could see how they would say that. But certainly when you make espresso in America, it tastes completely different, no matter how good your machine is, because of the water.
Tell us how this is going to be made,
Okay.
basically, just in steps. I mean, first, obviously, you boil the pasta.
No, not obviously. You do
No.
not boil the pasta first. No.
Not obviously. That's the mistake I made.
In this recipe, actually, you slice the zucchinis, also known as squash, first. You do not want them so thin like a potato chip, but you want them slightly bigger than a potato chip. May I slice one for the at-home audience? So we have already rinsed these off, and if you kind of do it on an angle, as you'll see, like that,
Very good.
you get it makes it easier to cut and you're not going in this direction. You don't have to be a real wizard, but you want it about, I hope my whole desk doesn't go,
Yeah,
you
well.
want it about this size. Okay? And I'll just do
like
a
the
couple more.
restaurants.
I'll just do, well, you know, I could really do it, but, you know, at the same time that I'm standing here posing so that my good side looks good, you can't really see it. But you can see here about the thickness. The reason that you cannot chop this, do not go, oh, she did it like that, I can't be bothered, and I'm going to chop it. Won't work. And the reason that you want it about this size is these are all going to lay on the bottom of a skillet. So the reason we don't boil the water first is because you're going to take a skillet, not a pot, you're going to take a skillet and you're going to turn it on a medium sort of low heat, and you're going to fill it, not like you're trying to make a soup or something, just a little bit with the bottom of the pot with olive oil. And then after that, you're going to take a few cloves of garlic. You're not trying to overpower the recipe with the flavor of garlic, you just need that hint of it. And you're going to put the garlic in there, and you want these to turn transparent. Okay? So it cooks very, very slowly. It'll take a few minutes, and you go, oh, this isn't working. And you're going to get tempted, Joe, and I know you will.
Yeah,
You're going to get tempted.
I do like to rush, and I always pay the price later. Slow and low.
To
slow
turn
and
the
low.
heat up, but you will notice that they'll start to turn transparent. And you can only put in as many zucchinis that will just cover the bottom of your skillet. You know how you say skillet in Italian?
How?
Pintola.
Pintola. Pintola.
Pintola.
How do you say this?
It could be pot.
Coltello?
Cortello.
Coltello. Grandissimo.
Yeah.
Coltellissimi. There you go. Michael Myers knife. That's what this is.
And so you're going to have all of those in the bottom. You can put a little salt in and a little, I like to put a ground pepper, not this one, we're going to come to that later. And you just put them in. And you basically, I think the technical word is you want them to sweat. That's what they're doing, sweating.
A little bit, right.
So once that they're in there and you see that they're going, now we turn on the water.
Okay.
And you do not put your pasta in until the water's boiling. And I know you go, oh yeah, everybody knows that, but you'd be surprised, people don't know. And then one of the really nice tricks is when the water, see that, now I'm shorter. When the water starts to boil, you want to take your pasta, and this would be a lot. This is about an entire pound.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to take your pasta and you want to fan it out like that. Okay, you don't put it all in together. And then as it's boiling, and now you already have your oil in there, and you already have your, come on class, what was it?
Rock salt.
You already have that in there, a little bit of a handful. Then as it's boiling, you do this. I can't do it now because these aren't boiling, but you gently push them in.
Would you like
and you have
both
a wood,
sides so it goes in, or just
you can just, you'll notice you can't crush them. You just want them to go in. And then that's when your wooden spoon a little bit you can kind of get in there a bit. Once you do that, they won't stick together. They really won't unless your pot's incredibly too small or something. So they're going to all push down, and they'll even make a nice little circle, and they'll just boil. And you can just turn them a couple of times to be sure that they don't stick.
Okay. So now we have our pasta all done.
Boiling.
Boiled, all set.
Boiling.
Al dente.
We're not boiled yet. How do you arrive at al dente? How do you figure that one
I
out?
always think al dente is the way to go.
I do too. You want your pasta al dente, means to the teeth, which means kind of crunchy. And in this recipe, you're really going to need that. You do not want to overcook the pasta, because once the pasta is done, you can either drain it and put it in a colander.
Strainer.
That thing with the holes in it? Okay, you're gonna dump it in there, and you want to do this while the pasta is really still quite firm. And the best way to find out if pasta is firm is you actually have to taste it. You put a little fork in there and you pull one out and you go, this is too crunchy to go to the table, and that's perfect. Because by now, your zucchini, the yellow and the green ones, are all about one color, and you have opened this, and you put in a small teaspoon. People don't know what teaspoon is anymore. It's the small one, not the big one. It's the small one. Or the little spoon that you use to have a espresso at home. You're going to use about that much of this, and you're going to stir it into the olive oil that's already ready. Then you're going to take a couple of drops of your pasta water, because it has all that good flour in there, which kind of, coming off the pasta, which kind of helps make this a little watery, a little saucy. You don't want it to be like a cup of water. You just want a little bit of that in there. You've drained your pasta. You're going to pick up the pasta. That's okay, camera crew. We'll have some food for you in just a minute. I think I'll just do a real quick recap of what the ingredients are and a little bit of what you do to make it. So you would go to the store and you would buy a bag of spaghetti, or it can be linguine or other things, a 1 pound bag of spaghetti. You're going to want some zucchini, and in case you don't know the word zucchini, nothing to be scared of, it means squash. Yellow or green squash. You are going to have 1 clove or maybe 2 of garlic. We didn't do it right here, but you can smash it or you can cut it up to little bits. Just smash it, peel it right off, and put it in that skillet. You're going to let them cook very slowly until they become transparent, and then you're going to put in a bit of anchovy paste, just a little bit. It will not taste fishy, it will not smell fishy. It just gives the sauce a little bit of a hint at the bottom. When the pasta has completed boiling, you take out one of the pastas when they're still very, very stiff, taste it, and if you think it's still not cooked enough, you drain your pasta and put it in the very skillet with the zucchini. You stir those together for a bit, and you can put in a little bit of hot pepper, if you want to go that way, and a little bit of Parmesan. Put it in your serving bowl and let the pasta rest. That's something that we don't often do here. It'll serve 4 very easily, won't even take a half hour to make, and I promise you, wherever you live, it'll be less than $10.
For the complete recipes and directions, please visit the official Cafe Himbo website. Buy my DVDs. For more information, please visit the Cafe Himbo site. Rosemary, the demon doll from Demons, look at this. Don't you wish you were me?